Hey, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahshai Bashim Kahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace to you, brothers, pushing the truth throughout the four winds. Not really sure what I'm going to entitle this video, but it's basically going into keeping a spiritual mind. That mind frame has to be and remain spiritual, to where you don't get veered off and carried away through things seen in the physical, so to say. So it's like basically staying locked in and dialed in to understanding what this battle is about. Okay. So Proverbs 28:14, it says, "Happy is the man that feareth always, but he that hardeneth his heart shall fall into mischief." And what I take away from this scripture is hardening your heart or your mind, falling into mischief. That means you're putting a lot of your thought into the physical side of things, which if you're not careful, it could be easy to do, because we're creatures of sight and feel and touch and emotions, and feelings. So everything we see, we have a reaction to, but we got to stay locked into the physical side of everything, because you think about if you harden your heart, you'll start questioning what's going on with your life, like what's going on with me, like why is this happening? And that'll open up Pandora's box to where now it's like you begin to moving a certain way, so it's basically telling you to like stay locked into the spiritual aspect of this. Okay, Hebrews 3:10. "Wherefore I was grieved with that generation, and said, They do err in their heart, and they have not known my ways." So the Lord's ways are spiritual ways. Okay, this generation that we're currently in, everything is about material things. You just see this material mind frame of people doing things outside of their character, and it's not spiritual. It's like for material gain, so that's the society we live in. And we want to always make sure that we're walking in a spiritual place, keeping everything in a mind frame of just always being spiritual. Okay. Acts 28:27. "For the heart of this people is waxed gross," the mind. Why? Because everything we do is geared towards being like envying the oppressor. And we know the scriptures say, "Envy not thy oppressor." Okay. So what standard they have set up, our people will like go into a mind frame of doing whatever to actually get into a spot where people see them comfortable. A lot of times it's just it's like it's phony, it's fake. Okay. It says and their ears are dull of hearing. Why? Because their mind is gone. So everything you tell them and try to penetrate their spirit with this truth, they can't receive it. It's like a mental block. It's blocked now. Okay, their minds are made up. That's why it says their hearts, these people, are wax gross. It grows and gets bigger and not wanting to understand. Okay. It says, "Lest they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them." So a lot of people don't want to be healed. Their minds are solely lost on what's going on in the society. That's why when you go back to Proverbs, it tells you, happy is the man that feareth always. So your mind is always locked in spiritually. Then you won't make it to a place to where your mind wax so gross that you can't be healed by Yahweh Shem Shai. And the men bringing this truth out to you to where you would understand, and then you can actually be healed from that. But some people's minds are so far gone that they don't want to get it. All they see is what's in front of them, and that's it. That's the end all be all to everything. Okay? John 12:40. It says, He hath blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them. So now we understand that this was all set up from the jump street, that they weren't supposed to get it. They weren't supposed to understand. They were supposed to be blocked and have their minds locked away. Okay? That's why it tells you it's a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. Because to be in this kind of headspace and knowing the only thing that's coming for you is judgment, and a harsh judgment at that, that isn't good. So there you have it. Romans 2:5, it says, But after thy hardness and impotent heart treasureth up unto thyself wrath against the day of wrath and revelation of the righteous judgment of the Most High. So you don't want to be in a headspace to where you can't be told anything. You can't be reached, because now you're going to pay for it. Like you're going to really go through and catch that harsh judgment when the smoke clears. Okay? So do these things now, so when that day comes, you won't have to go through and experience the craziness and the madness that's to come. So this is Isaiah 29:9. It says, Stay yourselves and wonder, cry ye out and cry. They are drunken, and this is their minds waxing worse, but not with wine. They stagger, but not with strong drink. So this isn't anything physical. They're mentally and spiritually docile. Okay? They're spiritually docile. They spiritually cannot stand straight up because everything is to and fro. They'll say religion. They'll believe this. They'll go in this direction. They'll do this. It's not stable. It's not balanced with these people. Okay? But it's not physical. It's not a drink they're drinking. They're drinking spiritual, like a spiritual concoction of, let's say, a spiritual wine. Okay? And they're drunk in a sense of not understanding. You ever seen someone physically drunk and they'll be put through a sobriety test? What happens? They're swaggering to and fro. But this is on a spiritual level. So they're spiritually drunk. So when you tell them something, it will be them combating it, trying to tell you that, oh, I get it, I'm awake. But the whole time, they're spiritually swaying through their actions. Okay? For the Lord hath poured out upon you the spirit of deep sleep, and hath closed your eyes, the prophets and your rulers, the seers hath he covered. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book that is sealed, which man deliver to one that is learned. So this person is learned. They have a degree, and they may think they're smart, may have went to their seminary school and got all of that junk that's pushed off today. So it says he's learned. So he will be learned in the world's eyes, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. So they're not going to physically tell you they can't understand it. They're going to give you their own understanding that was taught to them by the oppressor in these schools. And it's not going to make no sense to you because you know what the truth is. Okay? So you're telling them, what does Deuteronomy 28 mean? They'll go to that and wouldn't have no answer. They'll try to go around it because their minds of understanding of these things have been blocked. Okay? It says, and the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this. Now we have someone that's not learned. I pray thee, and saith, I am not learned. So I don't get it. Wherefore the Lord saith, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth and with their lips, and do honor me, but have removed their hearts far from me, and their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men. So everything is taught by the oppressor. You know, I seen a little statement. It was actually this guy, and he was like speaking truth, but he made it like poetry. And he was basically saying that the God they gave you, when you get in hard situations, they want you to pray to him when he wouldn't save you when you're going through captivity and bondage and all that. Then you want him to turn around and save you, but they gave you this person. You know, it's delusion in that. You know, and that's why Christianity is like, it's just a mockery. It's crazy that our people, but we understand that they can't get it. You know, so it's wild. This is Romans 11:7. It said, what then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it. So all of us not going to get it. Well, all of Israel is not going to get it. But the chosen, they will understand. You know, so that mental grossness, it doesn't apply to everyone. It says, and the rest were blinded. Okay? But the election has attained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, and we just read where it's written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear until this day. Until this day, they've always been docile and in a state of slumber until this day. So it's no rescuing these people. You know, you do your part by putting your videos up, speaking to people in person, but a lot of times it's going to be in vanity. You know, and when you understand, the more you do this and speak to people and it's in vanity, the spirit of like veer you towards like, this is a pointless conversation, or you can just read people's energy and understand, I will waste my time. It'll be a waste of time talking to these people. They're not going to get it. You know, some people just want to be, a lot of times they just want to be right. And sometimes, you know, some people may be older and I've been going to church 30 years and such answered my prayers. And you just know that it's like, okay, yeah, this is pointless. You know, you're not going to get nowhere doing it. And that's why the scriptures tell you, if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. You know, let them follow those ways if they want to follow them. There's nothing you can do about them. They're asleep. Okay? And with that, I want to say shalom.